Hello, my beautiful, bold, brilliant Lady Gardens. Welcome back to High Tea with Lady B, where we spill the tea on hormones, hoo-has, and everything in between. Today's episode is dedicated to the misunderstood art of vaginal hygiene, aka how to look after your glorious gardens without pressure washing her into a desert. This has been my most searched term on YouTube and TikTok, so I figured an episode was in need. That's right, ladies, no more scrubbing your bits like you're detailing a Hilux. We're about to set the record straight. Now, I'm not saying your pussy stinks, but I am saying the internet, my grandma's weird advice from 1964, and every pink packaged female spray have had us royally effing confused. So put down the perfume bottles. I'm going to say that again. Put down the perfume bottles. Unclench your pelvic floor and let's have a little high tea or maybe that shot of vodka and let's talk vajayjay maintenance. We are going to start with the basics. Clean, but not clinical. You've been marketed to like your vagina is a dirty dish that needs sanitizing. Well, spoiler alert, ladies, it's actually a dedicated pH balanced ecosystem that's more high maintenance than a freaking show pony going to Sydney Royal. And trust me, ladies, that is one head fuck. Let's start with something simple and the things that you shouldn't do, like douche. That means shower it up there. I really never understood what that meant. But just don't be up there pressure hosing her out with a mixture of sage and rosehip. She doesn't like anything up there unless, of course, it's vaginal estrogen or some good shit like that. Get that up there, ladies. Of course, if you're over 40. Spray perfume directly on or near your vulva. Nope, she is not a fan of Chanel No. 5. Nor is she a fan of any other scents for that matter. Use scented soaps, wipes, or bubble baths. She doesn't like that either. Scrub her like you're exfoliating your heels. That's another no-no. Or ignore irritation and hope it goes away. I mean, who hasn't done that before? And fun fanny fact here, ladies, the vagina is self-cleaning. Let me say that again and louder for the ladies out the back. She cleans herself. Let's start with one of the number one myths I need you to bin, bury, and burn. You do not need to wash your vagina with soap. Your vagina is self-cleaning. It's basically the Roomba of your reproductive system. Now, I'm not saying go feral. External hygiene does matter, but that's when we're talking about the vulva, your labia, clitoral hood, and surrounds. But internal douching, vaginal soaps, sprays, and scented wipes, ladies, they are the MLM pyramid scheme of the feminine hygiene world. They promise freshness and give you thrush, bacterial vaginosis, and a flaming pussy. So the vagina has a pH of around 3.8 to 4.5. That's more acidic than coffee, and it needs to stay that way to ward off nasty bacteria. Soap messes with that pH level and can turn your lady garden into a bacterial rave. Leave your pH alone. If you're suffering from bacterial vaginosis, this could be the cause, along with, yes, personal lubricants. They aren't actually designed for ladies' vaginas. I know. What the F? Shut the front door. Another product that we use but isn't actually designed for what it's used for when it comes for women. Many personal lubricants have the incorrect osmolarity or pH for your vagina, so they can contribute to bacterial vaginosis and thrush. Now, what the heck does osmolarity mean? Osmolarity is a measure of the concentration of dissolved particles in a solution. I know, way too much frickin' science right there. The fact here and what you actually need to know basically is low osmolarity, osmic pressure pumps water into the cells. So lots of water into the cells like filling a balloon with too much water can cause it to be too large or burst. High osmolarity, osmic pressure, sucks water out of the cells and dehydrates and shrivels them up like a grape with no water. Think sultana. Isoosmolarity are happy cells. They have the correct amount of water in the cell as there is outside of the cell. It's a perfect little ecosystem. Now, your vaginal fluid has a normal osmolarity of around 370 MOSM per kilogram. Many lubricants, though, have an osmolarity significantly higher than this. Hypoosmolar lubricants. These can cause damage to the tissue and dehydrate your vagina. Yes, ladies, sub-lubricants are absorbing too much water out of the sensitive cells of our vaginas and causing dryness, infections, and a range of other issues. These lubricants with high osmolarity often contain ingredients like glycerol or propanol glycol and can be detrimental to vaginal health. They can cause vaginal tissue to shrink and thin, increase the risk of abrasion and cell damage, and potentially lead to painful infections like bacterial vaginosis. And many of the lubricants on the market, many big name lubricants, can be 4 to 30 times the osmolarity of healthy vaginal fluid. These hyperosmolar formulas have been shown to cause toxicity to cultured vaginal epithelial cells, and studies have found that these can increase susceptibility to HIV in target cells in cell culture and significantly increase vaginal transmission of genital herpes infections. Most common lubricants have a high osmolarity of 2,000 to 6,000. Our vaginas need this to be 370. What the actual fuck, right? Who here has been told that they're a little dry, so just use some lubricant for dryness? And little did we know it's actually contributing to the problem. The World Health Organization has made recommendations for the osmolarity of personal lubricants to be 1,200. That's still 3 times above where it should be for a woman. I'll post this table in the show notes, but according to the WHO, KY jelly, depending on the type, has an osmolarity of between 2,000 and 6,000, and many other brands range from 1,300 to 10,000. There are 3 on this table that sit under 380. Now, this table isn't obviously worldwide on every lubricant available, but this is the most common lubricants on the market. And on the flip side, ladies, there's hypoosmolarity, which is putting too much water into the cells and causing the cells to expand. So the take home here is find a lubricant that's sitting as close to 380 MOSM per kilogram. Now, besides osmolarity, the pH of a vaginal lubricant is also an important factor to consider. Lubricants with a pH of 3.8 to 4.5 are generally recommended. So how the F do we actually keep her fresh? One of the most common DMs that I get, Lady V, my vagina smells, but not like that bad. Is that okay? Yes, 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 yes it is. Vaginas aren't supposed to smell like strawberries, cupcakes, or bloody mango sorbets. They're not a dessert. They're a mucosal membrane. Your natural scent is a combination of vaginal fluids, sweat glands, hormones, diet, and good old pheromones. Now, a normal vagina might smell a bit musky, metallic, especially when it's around your periods, or tangy or fermented like Greek yogurt or a sourdough starter, or slightly sweet or even coppery. This is normal. Say it with me. Vaginas have a scent, and it changes with your cycle, hydration, sex, medications, and stress levels. What we want to do when she does smell a bit off but not bad is hydrate. Wear breathable underwear. Cotton is queen here. Satin is for Saturday nights, not all day wear. If you're perimenopausal like me, it's for like never. Your vagina doesn't want to live in a synthetic sauna. There is also silky underwear, which I won't be wearing, but it is sexy, natural, breathable, and expensive. So cotton bonds, girls, here we come. Go commando for a night. Freedom for the flap girls. And aren't they a little different after childbirth? Really, we should be able to fly now. Gently cleanse externally once a day with warm water or a fragrance-free vulva cleanser if you want, that has the correct pH and no fragrances. I'll say that again, no fragrance. Eat probiotic-rich foods like yogurt, kimchi, kefir, as a well-fed gut helps balance those pussies, ladies. Only worry if it's a bit fishy, clumpy and itchy, foul or rotten smell. This might mean that you have bacterial vaginosis or something needing a nurse or a GP to take a look at. This is not a hygiene issue, my beauties. That's your vagina waving its red flag. So it's time to pop into your GP, your OBGYN or pelvic health nurse. Don't DIY your way through a yeast infection with yogurt or garlic cloves. You're not marinating chicken. And yes, you can get over-the-counter thrush treatments, but if it doesn't fix the problem, or if it's reoccurring or something that you're worried about, check it out with your GP, gyno, or pelvic health nurse, as you may have bacterial vaginosis or something else, or you've probably just been using a lubricant. Now, ladies, stop spraying your pussy with perfume. I'll say it again. Stop spraying your pussy with perfume. This one needs its own segment because I've had women tell me they spray perfume on their vajayjays. Ladies, this is a no. Your vulva is not a Glade air freshener, your labia are not Febreze furniture, and your bits do not need spritzing before guests arrived. Perfumes contain alcohols and chemicals that mess with your skin's barrier, drying you out and can cause rashes, dermatitis, and yeast infections galore. You wouldn't spray perfume inside your eyeballs, so why the hell would you mist it near your mucous membrane? Better ideas here. Trim or wax if you like, but don't feel pressured. Wash with water or gentle pH balance cleansers only. Change your underwear after working out or sweating heaps. Let the lady garden breathe. Sleeping commando is free therapy. Now, fun fanny fact, one of the most common causes of vaginal odor is bacterial vaginosis, and this is not an STI. It is a bacteria imbalance and can happen from overwashing, a new partner, or even changes in your period routine or those pesky lubricants. So don't feel embarrassed or ashamed. Trust me, we have all been there. Now, daily vajayjay TLCs, the Lady V method. Here is my go-to vulva care routine. Take notes, get it tattooed on your thigh, your call. Now, the Lady V vagina checklist. Warm water wash once a day. No soap in the hole. Just outside bits only, the vulva. And no, the vulva isn't just an American term, but don't be putting it up the vagina. And remember, no fragrances, the same pH, and nice and gentle. Cotton undies only. Save the lace for date night or for never. Pee after sex. This flushes out bacteria and keeps you from hosting a UTI. Avoid long bubble baths with chemicals. No powders, sprays, or gimmicky feminine hygiene products. They're money traps with side effects. Think Johnson & Johnson's talcum powder class action suit. Yep, it's all bullshit gaslighting on our vaginas. Now, pelvic floor physio and breathwork. Yes, your vagina needs support like your breasts do. Tesla chair, high FERB, and your good old Kegels. All right, my fabulous lady garden holders, let's recap the vibe. Vaginas clean themselves. Vulvas like to breathe. Scented sprays are Satan. And yes, you are not dirty, broken, weird, for having a scent, discharge, or musky days. To wrap this tea party up in a nice bow, your vagina is magical, clever, self-regulating, and doesn't need harsh products to be clean. She's not dirty. You're not dirty. You're just a bloody human woman, and you deserve to understand your body without feeling ashamed or sold to. So let's ditch the shame, bin the soap, and tell the hygiene industry to stop gaslighting our vaginas and convincing us that they shouldn't smell like a freaking vagina. Because we've been shamed for far too long, and it stops here at Pussy HQ with me, Lady V, and you, and our slightly sweaty, perfectly healthy fannies. And remember, ladies, knowledge is power, power is wisdom, and a wise vagina, she's an informed, gloriously cared for pussy. If this episode has made you laugh, learn, or throw the scented wipes into the bin, share it with your bestie, leave a review, or shout, "I love my vagina," out the car window. This has been High Tea with Lady V, keeping it clean but not sterile. Until next time, stay fresh, not floral scented. High Tea with Lady V is available on Spotify, Apple, and all the usual suspects. Please note that this podcast is for entertainment purposes and informational purposes only. The content shared is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for any medical concerns or before making any health-related decisions. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and guests, and it does not represent those of any medical organisation or institution.